All right. Hey, folks, I think we're live. Give me a hot second here to check in on my signal and make sure that we're coming through okay. I need to do some fast social media posts. And then we're going to get to work on confirming the facilities for the Bastion system that we've been developing for Bastion campaigns. Facilities for the Bastion system. Sounds like my volume's fine. So let me go ahead and get that there. And we're going to do the social media updates here real fast. So let me distract you with my origin story. Hey, my name's Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them and I publish them online. And I'm creating content for Dungeons and Dragons now with the new 5e24 rules. I'm honestly a pretty big fan of them. I like where 5e24 has gone. I think it makes everything that I like to do with D&D easier to do. So when I've been a DM since 1987. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999, and I've been creating content for D&D 5e on the DMsGuild since 2018. So now that they've introduced the Bastion system in the Dungeon Master's Guide 2024, it is a baby step back in the direction of Dominion style play. Of elevating 5e back to the status that absolutely crushed with the Redbox Beckme system of having characters develop from like literally nobodies into gods, and that's a great progression. But a lot of that system was reliant on the idea of a domain play, where characters grew in power and then influence in a geopolitical arena, accumulating property and troops and the ability to run your own kingdom. And that was a really intricate, involved process in Beckme, less so in AD&D first and second edition, even less so in third edition. It was pretty much absent in fourth edition. And so now they're trying to squeeze some of that back into 5th edition with the Bastion system, where characters get basically a hideout. That if they installed these facilities into their lair, they can like craft armor or make magic items or research a spell or blah blah blah. But it's all in the social sphere, and that you're just basically, you have these very set list of things that you can do with your facilities. You have a small limit of how many facilities you can put into your Bastion, and then since you have this very short list of things that you can do, you can basically just tell the DM, I'm going to choose this option and do that. And the way that the system is built is that, okay, you get to do that. So we wanted to expand the breadth of options to make it a true crafting system and leadership system for armies and sabotage and spy networks and geopolitics and trade routes, all the intricate things that you do on a community level for your characters. We wanted to bring that back into the 5e game engine using 5e game ideas. So that's what we're going to be doing today, further exploring the facilities that we can use in this Bastion system. If you think this stuff is cool, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. And here's a stack of books I've already created on the DMsGuild. They all have free previews. Click on them, check them out. If you think they're cool and they inspire your 5e games, consider picking them up to support behavior like this in the future. And the playtest document that we are using is click right here. This will take you to the Bastion campaign document that we've been utilizing. I'm going to extract this, and I'm going to extract the Bastions folder. And I think I'm going to take this and drop it down here, so my hair, so it stays out of the way. Let's peel out the Bastion document that we've been working on. I'm not happy yet. So the mechanics that are in the book, we're in the process of both simplifying the mechanics so it's fast and easy to use without any real turbulence, so that it's very intuitive, without a lot of restrictions or like caveats on how things work. Being able to craft and create magic items in the first place is a complicated endeavor. So we want it to be as complicated as it needs to be to be able to achieve the goal of having a way to craft anything and do all the NPC downtime geo stuff. We want to have all that stuff available. We want that level of complexity to be able to satisfy that itch, but to not make it so mechanically complicated that we lose people in the process. We want to keep it simple. So when we had first developed this document, maybe like 6 months ago, there was some complicated, there was some detailed, complicated aspects of the document of how to utilize bastions that I think is making it needlessly complicated for not much gains or benefit. So I'm currently going through the process of washing all that stuff out. Sorry, my nose is absolutely killing me today. So Bastion ranks 1 to 5 corresponds roughly with these levels. You accumulate ranks by having more Bastion points invested into your Bastion. The price of a Bastion point, if you allow Bastion points to be purchased with gold or to replace treasure, then the first rank Bastion points, the first 10 points are 100 gold each. The next 10 points are 1,000 each. The next 10 points are 10,000 each. The next 10 points are 100,000 each. And once you get to 5th rank, effectively like level 17 to 20, each Bastion point is worth 1,000,000 gold. You can buy into Bastion points with that amount of gold, but you can't necessarily sell Bastion points for any amount of gold. You need to have, there's an opportunity like to have an auction to be able to sell off Bastion points, but it's highly likely that you're only going to earn a small percentage of what the Bastion point is actually worth. Bastion points is a reward that you use to enhance your character, and if you have to, you can scrap your facility to get some pocket change. But virtually anything that you want, virtually anything that you want to get with gold, you can get with the Bastions. It's just a matter of how do you develop it. Hey, what's up? Hey, Acid Army, nice. I definitely like the idea of smaller Bastions starting from level 1. It was a little strange that you can't have a home base to build on until level 5. I completely agree, and welcome to the mix. Glad to have you, Acid. Hey, Steve, it's good to see you, my man. So just, and again, this is still a work in progress. It's far from finished, but once it is, the entire thing is going to be available for people to look at as part of the free preview on DMsGuild. Let me get rid of that and open this up. I'm going to want to have more than one copy of the Bastion campaign open. And anyone else that wants to tag along on this journey, here's the playtest document. It's the same one that I'm looking at here on screen with you guys. Here's my Discord community if you want to try implementing this system and playtesting it at your own home table. I will give you full support of doing so on my Discord, or even vocal like mic calls, like audio calls on my Discord server. I'm happy to support anyone that wants to explore my stuff and implement it in their campaign. I'm happy to provide advice about it and take feedback. If you check out the martial power system that we've been developing, we've been running a play test in a mega dungeon using martial powers on Saturday mornings. We're almost 8th level at this point. It's from 3rd almost to 8th level now. We had play tested this from 16 to 20th level last year, and it clicked well enough at the high end. It's like we need to be able to reverse engineer this thing so it works all the way down to 1st level. Similar Acid, as you'd said, yeah, Bastions should be available to characters at 1st level. The way that the Bastion system, assuming that you're new to the channel, the Bastion campaign it's a framework so that starting right at level 1, your characters are part of a business, guild, organization, government, church, some sort of a Bastion system, some sort of an organization that's larger than just the players alone, that can be both quest givers, but also the players can have control of the operations of the Bastion as almost like as a sidekick, as an independent entity that has its own actions that it's taking. And if you really want to lean into the structure of this game, it's a Bastion turn is 1 week. You have X amount of orders that you can, you have, depending on your rank, you can order 1 issue plus your rank per turn. So each week, a 1st rank Bastion, like a village shoe shop or like a frontier outpost, you can issue 2 orders to the Bastion to perform downtime activities and tasks for your characters, or they can be tasked to order. They can be ordered to help the NPC, the player characters, with their downtime tasks. So like your character, like if your character is researching a spell, you would make an ability, probably like an intelligence arcana check to, or potentially investigation to research a spell that you're looking for. But if you have like an archive and a library and a scriptorum, and you have a third rank bastion, like you're around, say you're around 11th level and you want to research 6th level plus spells, and you have a scriptorum and a library and an archive and a reliquary, all these things could work together as an order that you issue to your bastion. Give me your scribes, I want to research this thing. So now you're making your ability check, and they're basically giving you bardic inspiration die to add on top of the downtime. It's basically like a bardic inspiration die that will last the entire bastion turn while you are accomplishing this goal. Your character's far more likely to accomplish it than just your NPCs by themselves. If you just issue an order, hey, research me delayed blast fireball, I gotta go fight Tiamat, I'll be back. And when you get back, they'll have either succeeded or failed at researching it. And if they failed, that was because they ran into some sort of complication that prevents them from being able to complete that task. It could be that they just don't have a large enough facility to have the information. It could be something silly like that, like you don't have a scribe that can speak the language correctly. Maybe anyone that tries to read a certain book about that spell somehow is cursed. There's this random generator we have at the back end of the book to create events and complications. And when a complication arises, it is an adventure hook that your characters can take as a week-long adventure. Like your Bastion turn is spent on this adventure to solve the problem of the cursed researchers. And when you finish the adventure, assuming that's successful, the curse goes away, plus you get whatever other magic, like whatever loot you get from the adventure, plus whatever additional information you get to help lean into your campaign, and the spell gets completed. So you get the spell now, and it only costs you an adventure that you had to go on anyway. So you can run a campaign where each week, 52 weeks out of the year, you're gonna have 52 adventures that your characters run. And if you have, like, say, a cadence of 3 or 4 adventures per level, then over the course of a year, you can go from level 1 to 13. And if you have a 2-year campaign, you can get from 13 to 20, like from level 1 to 20. I typically run a campaign from level 1 to 20 in about 270 hours. There's not a lot. They're very investigation and exploration focused. So there's not a lot of character depth and development of like tea parties and shit like that, talking about my parents or whatever. I don't really care about that stuff as a DM. That's stuff that players can do in chat logs on their own, off camera time, to develop their party ties. So I stay very much in the exploration and combat space, pillars of adventure in the D&D game. So this leans into the exploration, investigation mechanics of ability checks that your Bastion can make for you. And if you don't have time to run the adventure yourself, you can then issue an order to your, like if you're first rank and you've got a shoe shop and you're trying to generate, say you're trying to generate enough wealth that you can afford plate mail armor. Maybe you're 3rd level, it's really fucking expensive. You don't have a lot of gold coming out of goblin layers at this level. So having a base of operation that can generate wealth might not be a bad idea. So you start putting in, you start using your shoe shop to issue trade orders. Hey, we're going to produce enough commerce that we can then trade to get this armor for the guy that owns the shoe shop. That's what we're trying to achieve right now. That the order is actually then trade. The idea of producing and selling shoes and generating wealth so that you can get that armor, that's all resolved with basically a commerce check. So you make an ability check to see how productive your Bastion is that turn, and all the costs and stuff of wealth and marketing and selling product and receiving goods, that's all just resolved with just a single commerce check. And then the actual objective is, are we going bankrupt currently? No, we aren't going bankrupt. Well, great. Then we can probably afford to turn some of that money into the item that our character wanted. So that means we have to find a place. Can you afford that yourself? No, we can't afford the 2,000 gold or like 1,500 gold for full plate armor. Okay, great. Well, 1,500 gold, that puts us at 100 for common, 400 for uncommon, 4,000 for uncommon, 40,000 for very rare, and 200,000 for legendary. So the DCs go 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So from common items, the DC is 10. For legendary magic items or anything that costs 200,000 gold or more, the DC is 30. A first level character isn't going to attempt to create a legendary item. You're going to fail. You can't hit the DC 30. There you go. So you have the stack. So the plate mail at 1,500 gold, that sits at the very rare category. So that gives it a DC of 20. So the guild, your shoe shop, does a trade check to see if they can levy their goods and services to be able to afford a suit of armor for your characters. That means that the Bastion, as an ability check, has to hit a DC 20. If you hit it, congratulations. That was really difficult. You probably weren't going to succeed, but you did. Congratulations. So now you have that suit of armor that's available, and if it fails, now you have a complication that needs to be resolved. You found a suit of armor, but you don't have the leverage that you need to have the Duke give up that suit of armor for your character. So now you need to go on a quest for the Duke before they're willing to make a trade. They love your shoes, they're willing to make you guys their cobblers, but they aren't quite willing to give up a set of full plate armor to get that service. So now that creates an adventure nugget for your characters. It sounds incredibly mundane, right? Like what a really low level, like a low tier activity. But again, these are third level characters that are desperately trying to scrape together 1,500 gold pieces to afford a set of full plate. At 5th or 9th level, this would be a trivial matter. It's like, yeah, we can just do that, no problem. And you can, because the die rolls will reinforce it. But when you're trying to punch above your weight, it gets really difficult, and it creates this cascade of issues, complications that your characters have to resolve, or you could just relegate it to your Bastion to try to figure it out. But if they already failed the die roll once, the solution isn't going to be any easier. So if they've already failed once, they might fail again, and now it's just putting it off. Eventually, your characters are either going to get involved, or you're just going to let it go because it's got the priority, or you'll eventually be on an adventure and you get the thing because it's like, hey, we want to get this set of full plate armor. We got on 3 adventures so far and we can't get it yet. It's like, well, by now you're 4th level, it's starting to actually become affordable. It kind of solves itself after a while. But what if you want to make like dragon plate armor, or like what if you want to train a dragon? Like now you need to have a menagerie that's capable of working with animals. Well, dragons are intelligent. You can probably just hire them. So that just means now you need a war room or a trophy room that will impress the dragon. Like that dragon isn't interested unless you have a treasure trove that will impress it, which means that you're going to have like a 4th rank trophy room to be able to pick up that CR12 silver dragon. They're just not impressed by you otherwise. Like, well, shit, we don't have that available to us. Now we need to start figuring out ways how can we impress this dragon, and that creates another adventure hook. So it's a progressive campaign, kind of like hex crawling. You don't know what's going to be in the next hex physically. In the Bastion campaign, you don't know what complications are going to crop up next turn. So it's kind of a temporal hex crawl where you're always just moving down the pipeline into what's the next effect of the causes that you're cause effect, and that's how you build a campaign. That is a very old school style of progressively generating a campaign, but instead of it being physically location based like a hex crawl or randomly generating a dungeon, we're randomly generating events that the team needs to respond to, and we're providing a tool system around that idea so that you have ability checks that has a logical progression for you to be able to do so, that does really cool stuff for your characters. Spy on things, sabotage people, discover hidden secrets, make new connections, gain new allies, pick up new NPC hirelings, make magic items, make spell jamming ships, build fortresses, create a planar bridge to go to another reality. It does a ton of stuff. So without further ado, let's continue diving through the process. So I do know for a fact that, and I mentioned this morning when I was doing artwork on stream for Eberron, that the Bastion, we need to have order. We need to talk about issuing orders early in the document, so that we have a little bit more context as to why these facilities are cool. I think the information unto themselves, we're going to go through all the facilities starting in a minute. There's I think 34 of them, and they all have benefits, downtime activities, and orders that can be issued that are unique to each facility. And then there's a format that we use for designing each facility that's duplicatable. So if you don't see a facility that scratches the itch that your team wants, you can make your own following the rules that we provide in this system to create new facilities that will be consistent and not overpowered in comparison to things that are already in this book. So if the 34 things that we have in here aren't quite hitting your mark, like maybe you want to make a Simic gene therapy shop where you're specifically being able to do stuff like put restoration spells on people, give them the benefit of a short rest faster than they would have gotten it, and eventually at higher levels, maybe like cast true polymorph on them to turn them into a different creature altogether through genetic therapy. That's the Simic Combine for you, right? That's kind of how they operate. Well, they don't have one. We don't have a Simic Combine genetic lab built in just the raw facilities here, but once we publish this, I could easily see us doing Bastions and Facilities of Ravnica, or Bastions of Ravnica. There's actually a book out already called Bastions of Ravnica by Eric Chacek, who is a designer that I admire and respect. But he's using the Bastion system that's in the DMG. So I would be honestly interested in taking the Bastions of Ravnica and translating them into this Bastion campaign system, so you could run a Bastion campaign in Ravnica as like the Boros Legion or Simic Combine or Izzet or whatever, or have characters in various guilds, and then each of them are developing their own bastions inside of their guilds. So fun stuff, very, very fun stuff. But having said that, making mention of benefits, downtime activities, and orders would probably be a good idea before we talk about facilities. But we're still developing stuff. Right now, it's serviceable. So we're just going to go through and start with facilities now. So without further ado, here we go. So we are working on the text that describes what it is. So if somebody new were to come in and take a look at the playtest document, they'll be able to grok what we're doing. Facilities are areas within a bastion with equipment and materials that characters can use during downtime activities and that hirelings can use to carry out orders issued to the bastion. Adding and improving facilities. Below is a list of facilities that can be added to a bastion. Each facility requires 1 bastion point to install. I don't have BP actually listed anywhere yet. 1 bastion point to install in the bastion, and there's no limit to how many facilities can be installed with enough bastion points, and its sufficient space is available to accommodate them. The rank of a facility is equal to the number of bastion points expended to install. The rank of a facility is equal to the number of bastion points expended to install and improve each facility. The rank of the facility is equal to the number of bastion points expended to install and improve it. Since I'm using a singular, of a facility. Comma, but cannot exceed the rank of the bastion in which the facility is installed. Each facility requires an order to install or to improve, and only 1 bastion point can be expended each bastion turn per facility. Multiple, let's see, a bastion can have duplicates. A bastion can install and improve the same facility multiple times, each requiring their own Bastion points to install and improve. You can only issue, and we'll talk about this in the order section, but you can only issue one order to a facility each turn. Once the facility is doing something, it's occupied. So if you want to be really big on workshop, like building golems, for instance, is something you can do with a workshop. If you really want to get into building, like, say, House Cannith wants to build an army of Warforged soldiers, then that factory is going to need to have a shitload of workshop facilities installed. It'll be basically a network of workshop facilities that are each working on creating and prepping Warforged bodies to then be empowered with a soul so that they can get powered up. So you've got one part of the workshop, all these different small little siloed workshops that are each working on their own Warforged, and as they get completed and roll off, then they get sent to the Soul Forge to have a soul bound to the body so that it becomes active. And I see it says trying to reconnect. Hopefully I haven't been disconnected again. Let's see. Okay. No, okay, good. It looks like we're live. Good. Sometimes I see the thing say trying to reconnect, and it's like that means I might have just lost the internet, but it looks like everything's okay. So yeah, it's useful to have multiple facilities of the same type if you're planning on really leaning into that type of activity. But again, at the same time, you only have so many Bastion points that you can accumulate on levels. So I could at first rank, I can have up to 10 points, and I can therefore only put 1 point into each facility. So like if I really wanted to get good with shoe shops, then that would be like that would be a workshop and potentially a guild hall. So like those would be the two facilities I would probably want to have. Workshop is going to be the easiest one to start with, so I can just make a bunch of shoes. But I also want to have something like a storehouse where I can keep materials on hand so that I can ignore complications of not having the materials that I need. Like that's a complication that can come up. You don't have the right kind of shit to be able to build the things that you want. You now need to either go establish a trade route or find the material that you need as an adventurer so you can bring it home and get the thing built that you wanted to get built. If you have a storehouse of an appropriate rank, it'll automatically have the material that you were looking for, removing or resolving that complication for you. Let's see, Bastion ranks. So, okay, great. So, facilities, space, and so I have an example here. A rank 2 Bastion with 12 Bastion points can have up to 12 rank 1 facilities installed, or 6 facilities improved to second rank. Pretty straightforward, right? 12 points, 2 per rank. Second rank Bastion can have up to second rank facilities. If I only have 12 points, I'm going to have a lot less. I'm going to have less options for different facilities, but those facilities will be able to do more because they're a higher rank than the first rank facilities. But if I had 12 first rank facilities, that's a lot of stuff that I could have them do. But I'm still limited to only 2 orders. Yeah, I only have 2 orders per Bastion turn at first rank, so like why would I need 12 facilities? That's kind of putting the cart in front of the horse. There's not a lot you could do it. There's not a lot of logic to it, because you can't possibly have all of those facilities up and running and doing stuff at the same time. You can notice here that like at 5th rank you have 6 orders that you can issue. If you had 6 different facilities that were all maxed out with 5 ranks each, that would be 30 out of your 41 points. That would leave you a pocket of 11 plus points for you to do things like modify die rolls, re-rolls, issue some additional orders so that you could like maybe have 7 facilities, and then you could burn some of your spare Bastion points to issue additional orders to that extra facility, for instance. You can only issue 1 order to a facility per turn, so if you're finding, I wish I could do more with this facility, what you're really saying is I need to have more facilities so I can issue more orders to them. Space and hirelings. Each facility requires a minimum amount of space and a minimum number of hirelings to operate as determined by the rank of the facility. Facility rank, its size is cramped, roomy, ample, spacious, and vast. Minimum squares, measured in 5-foot squares, is 4 for cramped, 16 for roomy, 36 for ample, 64 for spacious, and 100 for vast. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Just the square, pardon the squares, minimum squares, right? The square of 2 is 4, the square of 4 is 16, the square of 10 is 100. That's how we're getting to those numbers. But you can rearrange them in any shape that you want. The number of hirelings that you have to have in that facility for it to operate properly is 1 for a first rank space. A 5th rank facility needs at least 9. If you don't have enough hirelings, it operates at a low. Its bastion die is the you have your D20. We talk about this down in issuing orders, but to make a bastion check when you issue an order, like make me armor, make shoes, that's an order to craft items. So that's a D20 plus the rank of your plus the rank of the facility plus your bastion die. So if you are and then you measure that against like that plate mail armor, for instance. If we wanted to make full plate armor, is a DC 20 saving throw, and if we have a first rank blacksmith attempting to make that item, it's a DC 20. That's a DC 20 that they have to hit. They have a D20 plus 1 plus D4. It's possible for them to make it, but they have to hit at least a 15 and a 4 on their die rolls to accomplish it. If they roll a 1 on their bastion die, they now have to roll an 18 on their D20, which is highly unlikely. You're probably going to run into a complication because like one guy with a hammer is attempting to make a set of full plate armor when it's a job for like 12 people. It's difficult to do. So, well, I guess we would say it takes at least 5 people to make it, right? There you go. So if you have if your facility is missing hirelings, which can happen through sabotage or complications, instead of you operating like if I'm 3rd rank and I should have 5 hirelings helping with a D6 die roll, if I only have 2 hirelings, then I'm only going to roll a D4 instead of a D6. So like protecting your hirelings is important. Sabotage, complications, and warfare can remove both hirelings and bastion points from your bastion, disabling different facilities. If it's sabotage, they can target either specifically a facility or they can target hirelings to eliminate them through damage or kidnapping or assassination, etc. So if the number of hirelings that you have gets fatigued, then the bastion die that you're going to roll is going to be decreased until you can resolve the complication. So those are some of the ideas that we're playing with inside here, which we need to do a better job of laying out. So the space required is measured in 5-foot squares, which can be configured in any arrangement you choose, but all 5-foot spaces must be contiguous with at least one other 5-foot space. Contiguous means adjacent to or having sides that touch. The ceiling of a facility can be up to 10 feet tall, 10 feet high per rank, and multiple stories can be stacked on top of each other as adjacent spaces, providing sample floor plans to demonstrate configurations. That'll be one of the illustrations that we include in the book, because I do all my own illustrations and all my own cartographies. So when we actually get this to the place where we can build it, we'll do the page layouts, and then all the gaps that we have on the pages, we're going to fill in with illustrations of shit. So here's an example, like showing floor plans for different configurations of different sizes. Hirelings. The number of hirelings limits the effective rank the number of hirelings limits the effective rank of a facility. If the minimum listed number of hirelings for its rank are not present in the facility, it can only operate at a rank that there are enough we should word that differently. The number of hirelings limits the effective rank of a facility. Let's see. If the minimum listed number of hirelings is present, in the facility, it can operate. It can When an order is issued, you can roll a Bastion die corresponding to the rank. The number of hirelings limits the effective rank of a facility. If compare the number of hirelings in the facility. Let's see. Executing, performing, completing, pursuing. What is it? Orders. It's not executing. It's you issue orders. They are following. Got it. Compare the number of hirelings in the facility to the Bastion die. Compare the number of hirelings in the facility to the rank to the facility's rank. Let's see. Compare the number of hirelings in the facility to the facility's rank. The comma rolling a Bastion die equal to the effective rank up to the max rank of the facility. Period. That should be good. For example, if a Bastion has a rank 3 workshop with only 4 hirelings, it can fulfill orders as a second rank facility, even if 3 Bastion points have been invested into the workshop and it occupies 36 or more squares. Characters can be included as a hireling in one facility of your choice each Bastion turn. The cost of stocking facilities and affording hirelings is part of maintaining a lifestyle for the Bastion, as detailed in the orders section below. There we go. So that's not the best language, but it resolves it. All right. Okay, so list of Bastion facilities. Each facility can be issued orders and provide benefits to the Bastion. Each facility can facilitate. Each facility can facilitate. Let's see. In addition to carrying out orders, Bastions have Bastion points that are spent to maintain facilities. I don't think I need to have that in there. Let's see. Each facility can provide benefits to the Bastion as Bastion's operation. Can be used by characters during downtime activity, and can be issued orders and can be used by hirelings that have been issued orders. Period. Which are described in each facility description below. Period. Each facility has prerequisites that must be met before a facility can be installed. Each facility has prerequisites that must be met each facility has a rank prerequisite requiring the Bastion be of the listed rank or higher to install the facility. Once installed, any facility can be improved as detailed above. The minimum rank required to add a facility to Bastion is listed below. Arcane Study. Most of them are 1. The vast majority of them are 1. Okay, so here's how it works. There's 2 5th rank facilities, which is the Planar Bridge and the Demi-Plane. There's 3 4th rank 4th rank facilities, which includes the War Room, Sanctum, and the Reliquary. There's 4 3rd rank facilities, including the Crypt, the Greenhouse, the Observatory, and the Teleportation Circle. And then there are 5 2nd rank facilities, including the Training Area, Spy Network, the Menagerie, a Laboratory, and a Greenhouse. Everything else can be had at 1st rank. The reason why these things are typically a higher rank than the 1st rank facilities is because they often provide you with things that your characters wouldn't be able to do until they reach the corresponding level. Like, for example, the Teleport Circle facility is 3rd rank because full casters can get Teleportation Circle as a spell. It's a 5th level spell, which a wizard could have access to at 9th level. And a 3rd rank Bastion with 3rd rank facilities corresponds to 9th level or higher level characters. So the caps, the minimums that we're putting into the Bastion is generally assuring that the stuff that you're going to make or the benefits that you get from the Bastion is something that your character would realistically already have access to. But like, if you don't have a wizard in your party, how are you supposed to get a Teleportation Circle? This gives your fighter, ranger, paladin, rogue team a Teleportation Circle option when they get to 9th level. You can just install a Teleportation Circle. And now you have one. So it's designed to give you give you access to stuff that you would otherwise already have access to in the campaign with a well-balanced party. So everything, we're not blowing anything out of proportion, as it were. So let's go back down. Space and Hirelings. List of Bastion facilities. There we go. Let's look at, you know what? This is our first task that we're going to perform. We've done a number of updates on this. So let's make sure the rank that we have for everything. Should I put in here a prerequisite? I feel like maybe I should. Rank 1. Yeah, I think we can afford to do it this way. So let's start off this way. What we're gonna do is, let's see, facility properties. Bastion facilities have 3 types of Bastion facilities have three types of properties: facility benefits, downtime activities, and orders. The facility provides a unique benefit to the Bastion or to creatures using the facility. Downtime activities are the facility imbues characters with new abilities when they spend downtime there. The facility, let's see. No, provides a unique benefit to characters that spend the Bastion turn to characters that spend a Bastion turn here. That's not the best language, but we're going to go with it. And then orders. The facility can carry out unique orders issued to the hirelings. The facility provides the means for hirelings to carry out issued orders. There we go. That's the way to do it. Bastion improvement. When you spend a BP to improve a facility, choose one of the listed orders. Let's eliminate that. Let's look at this. Let's see. Basic orders. Craft. Issue the craft order to create non-magical items. See item list below. Up to the value listed for the number of Bastion points spent to improve the craft order of this facility. Okay, so good point. When we originally built this system, we were looking at improving orders separately from facilities, and that's complicated because then you have to look at, like, I want to issue the crafting order. How many facilities do I have? How many points have I invested into crafting? And that, now you have to do this cross-reference matrix of facilities and orders and points spent. It's too fucking complicated. So I need to knock that down a couple notches. So we're going to simplify the system. Let's copy here. One is still valid. Let's see. Craft. Issue the craft order to create non-magical items. See the item list below. Up to the value listed for the rank of the facility. For the rank of the facility. God, that's so much simpler. So let's go take a look at the list. The list. Here is every single item that exists in the player's handbook. And in the DMG, here is the list of magic categories of magic items and magic item themes. So if you want to make armaments, you have to have an armory. What were we looking at? Arcane Study. If you want to make Arcana magic items, you can do so with an Arcane Study. So if you look at the Arcana list, like Spell Scroll, for instance, I think that's on the Arcana list. Then we would look at the facility rank, spell level, basically a magic item. Like this is a spell level 0-1 is a common magic item. 2 to 3 is an uncommon magic item. 4 to 5 is a rare magic item. 6 to 7 is a very rare magic item, and 8 to 9 is a legendary magic item with the corresponding DCs of 10 to 30. So the crafting rules, basically, if I wanted to make if I had an Arcana, a first rank Arcana, then I could make, and this is described further down below in the general order to craft stuff, or to empower stuff. Empowering is making magic items. Crafting is making mundane items, but the tiers are the same. Common magic items are 100 gold in value or less. Uncommon magic items are 400 gold or less. Rare 4,000 gold or less. Very rare 40,000 or less. Legendary are 200,000 or less. So those are our price points that we have, or 200,000 or more, basically. 200,000 plus is about, because you don't go beyond, because you can't build artifacts. That's a god thing. But castles are like worth 500,000 gold. So if you want to be able to craft a castle, you're going to need to have experts in their field that are good enough to be able to actually design and build a castle, which is going to be a footprint activity. A smaller one, like a keep, you could potentially do. Anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that. So issue the craft order to complete non-magical items up to the value listed for the rank. See that? So let's go up and look at the actual mundane magic items and see where Arcana, the arcane studies listed to see, if anything, what equipment, what gear we can make in the arcane facility. Here we go, arcane study. We can make a scholar's pack out of animal, mineral, and plant materials. An arcane study can make a scholar's pack. Let's see. We could also make a scholar's pack with an archive, a library, and a scriptorium. But what else can an arcane study produce? It's alphabetical, so it's easy to scan for it. Look at that, arcane study. You can make a book with an arcane study. You can make an arcane focus with an arcane study. That's useful. What about here? Anything else? There's not a lot you can make with an arcane study. Oh, look, tools. Here we go, arcane study. An arcane study can make calligrapher supplies. An arcane study can make cartographer tools. What else? Anything else? As you can see here, like armory, workshop, smithy, they can make a whole bunch of stuff. Arcane studies, not really well known for making shit. But empowering stuff, issue the Empower Order to create arcane magic items, arcana, rings, rods, scrolls, staffs, wands, wondrous items. Up to the rarity listed for the rank of the facility, period. There, that's really simple. So if we put if we're a 4th rank Bastion and we put 4 points into our arcane study, we can empower, for example, spells up to 7th level. And at 15th level, which would be 4th rank for our characters, that jives. This is a much simpler way to do this. I think this is much better. The way that we were doing it was way too fucking complicated. This is making life just so easy. Spend points, put them in a Bastion, put them into a facility. That facility can do the things that you expect them to do, as long as you have the people. If you don't have the people to do it, then it's going to erode and be it's going to be more difficult. You can still do it, but you're going to roll. If you don't have enough people to help you with it, then it's going to have a lower. It's going to have a roll or die, a lower die. Thank you. Unique orders. Research. Issued a research order to scribe a new arcane spell onto a scroll that can be added to a spell book or a character's list of prepared spells. The maximum spell level you can research is based on the rank of the facility. Because I could have a 4th rank Bastion, but only invest 2 points into an arcane study because I have a paladin that can't benefit from scribed scrolls higher than 3rd level. So who cares? Or 4th level. A 4th rank facility would be a 13th plus level character, which is a 4th level spell. So yeah, 3rd level. No, that'd be a 4th level spell. So I'd probably want to put 3 points in to get the full range of like what a paladin would be able to benefit at 4th rank from that facility. And it's pretty easy to do at that level. It'd be d20 plus 4 plus assuming you got enough people working on it, a d10. So it'd be d20 plus d10 plus 4 to hit a DC of 20. You're highly likely to be able to, basically you have to just roll average on both dice and you should be fine. But there are potential complications. Every one of these has potential complications. You're never immune to, you're never free of complications. So you can always roll a double 1. And if that happens, then at the top end of the game, at the top end of your game, you're going to fail that check. Arcane Study. Okay, so we completed that. rank of your facility. Cool. This is a good use of my time. I am happy to be here. Let's scroll up. Archive. Basic facility benefits. See, this didn't have any. So there's 3 types of properties in a facility, right? Facility benefits. Maybe we should call that Bastion benefits. Facility benefits, downtime activities, and orders. These are the 3 type of orders. The 3 type of properties that a facility can have, and you can only have 3 benefits. Properties. You can only have 3 properties. Regardless of what they are, you can only have 3 properties. This one, the Arcane Study, only issues orders. There's basic orders that follow a general guideline that we list down below, and then it has a unique order, which we discussed here, researching and installing spells into your spellbook, for instance. But it didn't have any downtime activities, and it didn't have any facility benefits. Just orders. As a downtime activity, characters can always help in issuing an order to add your ability check and the Bastion die to your ability check as a character. Characters always override everything because they are the story. So Arcane Study, good. Archive. Basic facility benefits. Now we're going to see an instance of benefits. When issuing the research order to any facility, you can roll an additional Bastion die. And we talk about this further down below in the properties section, in the facility properties. We list out the facilities here, and then following this, we're going to describe what all these things mean. So basically, what this means is that normally you would only roll 1 Bastion die for the order that you issue. But when you have an archive included, whenever you issue, you can see here like an order, the one order that you can issue to the archive is not research, it's empower. So an archive cannot be issued the research order itself, but if you issue the research order elsewhere in your Bastion, having an archive means you get to roll 2 dice instead of 1, and you keep the best result. So it stays inside the bounded accuracy of how the D20 of how the 5e system works, capping with DC 30, but you're more likely to get a roll that'll get you there, not just stacking dice that will blow out like 5 12-sided dice. You're automatically going to be hitting 30s all the time, but you always get those extra dice. So by having multiple dice, it's like mega advantage, right? It's like ultra advantage. The more facilities that you have installed that will benefit your roll, the more powerful, the more dice you get to throw, the more likely you are to roll an above average result. But I want to modify this further since we're simplifying it. When issuing the research order to any facility, you can roll an additional Bastion die up to an additional Bastion die of the rank. How do I want to word that? It's an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of the of this facility. Of this facility. Up to the rarity listed for the rank of this facility. Rank of the facility, maybe of the facility. No, I think I want to use this facility. Yeah, that makes sense. I think of this facility is important. So when issuing the research orders to any facility, you can roll an additional Bastion die of the size for this facility, period. When issuing a craft order to create non-magical items, you can roll an additional Bastion die of the size. Maybe that's just redundant. You can roll an additional Bastion die. You can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. There we go. Equal to the rank of this facility. We'll add that for now just to be redundant, but maybe we'll remove it in the future. This is why we hire an editor to help us walk through those ideas. Empower. You can issue the Empower order to create magical items. Up to the rarity listed for the rank of this facility. Cool. That also jives. Armory is probably going to be first rank. Yes, it is. So let's grab rank 1. I love doing this stuff. I love checking work. I love just running through the document. I love updating it. I love editing. This is all for me. This is all entertainment. I love doing. Oh, my chair's all fucked up. Hold on. I'm trying to fix my chair. There we go. I love doing this type of work. It's a good thing too, because it takes a shitload of time to build things. But it's a lot of fun. You don't want to fix my screen. When defending the Bastion from attack, you can roll an additional Bastion die. Equals to the rank of this facility. Craft. You can issue the craft order to create a non-magical item. I bet I can already feel, God, this all feels so, like this is such a recurring statement. Up to the rarity, comma, up to the rarity. I mean, it's always the same. It's always going to be the rarity of this facility. Like, that's a redundant statement. Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's just make it redundant now, just so it's just stupid obvious for now. Auction house is first rank. Let's see. There we go. Prerequisite, rank 1 Bastion. That's easy enough, right? Copy. Paste. 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 Very good. Auction house. Basic facility benefit. When you issue the trade order to obtain materials or non-magical items, you can roll an additional Bastion die. Equal to any facility. Issue craft order to any facility to create. Okay, that works. Copy. Archive, armory, auction house. When issuing the trade order to obtain materials or non-magical items, you can roll an additional Bastion die up to the value listed for the rank of this facility. We do have unique trade orders here. That's a contradiction. You can issue the trade order to auction a Bastion point to earn gold. The result of the Bastion test determines the percent of gold value earned through the auction. Higher ranked Bastions take longer to complete the auction for higher value, for higher gold values, You can choose to gain the maximum value of a lower result, requiring the listed duration to do so. DC is less than 10, there's no sale for the week. DC 10, 25%. That's right, okay, so let's create some more space. There. So DC is less than 10, there's no sale. DC 30 is 150% the value. At 20, it's 100% value. That's pretty straightforward. 0, 25, 50, 100, 125, 150. Yeah, okay, I'm okay with that. Let's see. Rank, point value, duration of the auction is 1 week. So if I have a 4th rank facility and the gold piece value is 100k, it'll take me a month to try to auction off 1 Bastion point. And so that means that if I have week-long Bastion turns, it's going to eat up 4 of my Bastion turns. So basically I have to hold that order for 4 Bastion turns, not do anything else with it, because I'm attempting to sell off this Bastion point. That is a focused effort that I have to maintain over time, kind of like I have to maintain concentration on a spell across multiple rounds of combat. While my concentration is full, I can't concentrate on something else. So effectively, the auction house is maintaining concentration on auctioning off a point. So that's the only thing that the auction house can do during that 4-week block, which again we detail further down below. Trade, you can issue the trade order to auction a Bastion point to earn gold. The result of the Bastion test determines the percent gold value earned. You can choose to gain the maximum gold value. Okay, so we were doing a 4th rank example. We're trying to auction off a Bastion point. It's worth 100,000 gold pieces at full value. It's 1 month to perform the check. Let's assume that I'm capped out on my auction house, so I'm going to roll a 20-sided die plus at 4th rank a D10, and then I'm going to add 4. And because it's because the basic facility benefit is that when issuing the trade order, when issuing the basic trade order. That's a way to qualify the basic trade order. This is not a basic trade order. This is a unique order. So this trade would not benefit from the extra die. But if I was just trying to like establish materials or something, the auction house would allow me to roll 2 dice for it. So keeping things simple, 4th rank auction house. I'm a 4th rank guild, Bastion. Each Bastion point is worth 100,000 gold. I'm going to roll a D20 plus a D10 and then add 4. And depending on what my result the result of the Bastion test is going to determine the value of that 100,000 gold that I gain. Again, I'm probably going to be like 13th, 15th level when I try to do something like this. So I rolled a 10 on my D10, and I rolled a 15 on my D20, and I get to add 4. So that's a 29. So actually, after 1 month, I was able to auction off a single point for 125% of its gold value, which is going to be 125,000 gold. I don't know what my characters need 125,000 gold for, but they just got it in floating credit. Interestingly enough, I could, instead of taking that 125,000 gold, I could instead decide to pick up, let's go back to the front end of the document here real quick. This is our bounce document. 125, I could afford to get 10 points. Hold on. I could purchase 10 points for 100 gold each. That's 1,000 gold. And then I could purchase 10 more points at second rank. That's 11,000 gold. And then I could afford to spend another. I could then purchase another 10 points with another 100,000. So it'd be 111,000 gold that I'd be able to accumulate. I could purchase 30 Bastion points in an entirely new facility from scratch. Like I could take that 125,000 gold, invest 110,000 of it to develop an additional Bastion that's third rank and capped with 30 points. And I'm just waiting for it to roll over for me to be able to gain another point. Nice. So I could auction off assets from a high value Bastion to bankroll picking up Bastion points for a lower rank or multiple lower rank Bastions, and set up franchises in different locations with multiple Bastions that, if I can communicate with them, I could have running multiple orders at different locations, which is a way to really lean into the Bastion campaign of literally establishing and controlling a small empire of small businesses that only require single ability checks to resolve what you're trying to do with them. There's a lot of potential fun there. But like, this would be like the idea of like, in your kingdom you have 10 dukes, and each duke can raise an army. So you can invest Bastion points into each of those dukes' fiefs to basically pay for a barracks in their Bastion. They might have their own barracks, but you put a barracks into their Bastion as well, so that they're guaranteed to be able to generate troops for you, even if their own barracks is being occupied in their own tasks. You would always have a supply of troops that you could pull from those 10 dukes. And if, like, say those dukes are second, it would be like, I think it's 10, 100, 1,000. No, it's 10, 40, 400, 4,000, 20,000, I think is how we do it. It's just basically one soldier equals 10 gold. There you go. Kind of makes sense. Yeah. So this all actually jives. Cool. So I'm happy with that. This was a good upgrade. Let's see. Auction. So that is good for the auction. Now, basic facility, we resolved the issue, the basic trade order. That's excellent. When issuing a basic trade order, that's how we should word it. When issuing a basic research order, because everything has a basic, all orders have a basic usage. When issuing a basic craft order, and this is a basic order. Research, craft, basic orders, and power. There you go. Unique order. Also trade is you issue... you can issue a unique trade order. You can issue a unique trade order. a basic. You can issue a basic craft order. You can issue a basic empower order. Let's make sure this is all lined up right. You can issue a research order unique to this facility. Ah, there we go. You can issue a basic empower order to. You can issue a basic craft order. You can issue a basic empower order. You can issue a trade order unique. This is the way to do it. This is the way. You can issue a trade order unique to this facility. You can issue a trade order unique to this facility. For let's see, you can issue a trade order unique to this facility for hirelings to attend an auction to acquire a magic item. If the auction is held for 1 week, the D20 test, the Bastion test, determines the rarity of the item available, and the DM chooses what that item is. If the result is below 10, not only is no item available, but it also creates a complication. If the characters have a specific non or magical item they wish to acquire, the DC and duration to find and close the auction is determined by the rarity of the item. If the Bastion test fails, to close on that item, not only is the item not available, but it also creates a complication. DC 10, minimum rank. The rarity of a magic item that can be obtained this way is determined by the rank of this facility. If the auction is successful, you can choose to sacrifice 1 Bastion point to purchase the item. Nerp. Thank you. Good. If the auction is successful, you can choose to sacrifice 1 Bastion point to purchase the magic item. There you go. So, again, you can purchase magic items by performing an auction to locate one, but the rarity of the item is going to increase the duration to find it, and it's going to cost you a Bastion point. And at higher rank, that's like legend, like at this level up here, like that's a million gold that you're giving away to get a magic item. Like if you just need a broomstick of flying, yeah, you can find one in a week, but it's going to cost you a Bastion point. If your campaign is rewarding you Bastion points as for quests, or if you're automatically gaining Bastion points when you gain levels, that's not such a bad deal. But if you have to spend gold to earn Bastion points, whew, man, that's tough. That's really brutal. If the auction is successful, you can choose to sacrifice 1 bastion point to purchase the item. There you go. Barracks. You can roll an additional bastion die up to the value listed for the rank of this facility. What rank is this? Barracks. First rank. Hell yeah. When defending the bastion, you can roll an additional bastion die up to the value listed for the rank of this facility. When issuing an order to siege a bastion or settlement, you can roll an additional bastion. You can settlement, comma. There. Basic order. You can issue a basic recruit order to hire a number of CR 1/2 soldiers to defend the bastion or attack a rival, as detailed in the issuing orders section below. Because when you form an army, you're recruiting them for a specific mission. So that's why it's a recruit order as opposed to something else. Crypt. Here's a unique facility benefit that we haven't seen. We haven't seen any downtime activities yet, but requires third prerequisite. Rank 3 Bastion. Once per day, the crypt can target a body with divine magic, granting the benefits of a spell listed up to the rank of the facility. Gentle Repose, Revivify, Raise Dead, True Resurrection, Resurrection or True Resurrection. Once per day, the crypt can target a body with divine magic, granting the benefits of a Speak with Dead spell. A body can be targeted by the facility with this spell once per bastion turn. That's not an order, it's just something that it can just automatically do for being at that facility. Empower, you can issue the basic, you can issue a basic empower order as a variant order. Thank you. You can issue a unique to this facility as a variant of recruiting to animate CR 1/2 skeletons to serve and defend the bastion. The maximum number of skeletons created this way is determined by the rank of the bastion, by the rank of this facility. Period. You must have sufficient space to retain the skeletons as listed for each rank at the basic order detailed below. While in the bastion and the crypt is undamaged, the undead, the skeletons, remain under the command of the Bastion. A character can take the undead from the Bastion following the rules of Animate Dead. Following the rules detailed in the Animate Dead spell description. Until they return. Basically, that means, if it's not obvious, that means that in the Bastion, you don't have to worry about spending spell slots to maintain control of them. Outside the Bastion, while they're just roaming with you as an army of undead, you have to spend spell slots to maintain control of hopefully all of them, if not a portion of them. So they make great defenders of your Bastion. It's difficult to assemble a huge fleet of them. Demi Plane, prerequisite, rank 5 Bastion. Unique facility benefits. The demiplane can be used to house facilities without... the demiplane can provide space for facilities without increasing the size of the Bastion. Each Bastion point spent to improve this facility increases the size of the demiplane. Points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Room size, blah. Square size, blah. You can create multiple demiplanes, each increasing in size separately. Each additional point. No, let's. Create small downtime activity to gain benefits. There. You can create multiple demiplanes, each increasing in size separately. So this, basically, if you're going to have a 5th rank facility, you could set, by the time you're 5th rank yourself, you could set up a separate demiplane for each facility, having the entire facility in the extra dimensional space. So you could effectively have a TARDIS on your ship. Like if you have a Spelljammer ship, you could effectively have like a TARDIS situation where you've got all these doors in the galley of your ship, and they each open up into a large space. 4, 16, 2, 4, 6, that's 36, 64. That makes more sense. When a facility can craft non-magical items or empower magical items if the entire facility is inside a demiplane. If the facility is inside a demiplane, reduce the time required to create the item by 1 degree, as listed on the table below. So if it would normally take a year, it only takes a season. If it would normally take a season, it takes a month. If it would normally take a month, it takes a week. If it would normally take a week, it takes 1 day. If it would normally take 1 day, it only takes 8 hours, and you could potentially produce that same thing 3 times. Any facility that grants additional Bastion dice when making a Bastion check must also be inside a demiplane. When making a Bastion check, any facilities that grant additional Bastion die when making a Bastion check must also be inside a demiplane to benefit a check made. There you go. When a character can spend downtime activity to gain a benefit, if the facility is inside a demiplane, reduce the time required to gain that benefit to 1 day. Because normally a downtime activity to gain a benefit takes a week, and this automatically reduces it down to a day. That's perfect. Gaming Hall. Wow, that was easy. Prerequisite rank 5. Crypt was prerequisite rank 3. Good. Now we're looking at Gaming Hall. Gaming Hall, prerequisite first rank. Oh, I like this so much better. God, it's so much better. This is the stepping. Okay, here's my recommendation. Anyone that's trying to do something big and make a big impact, my recommendation is step away from the project and let it breathe. When you come back to the project, like preferably for at least a month, come back to it and you'll have completely fresh eyes, and all the flaws and issues will probably jump right out at you. Once you do that, let it sit for another month, walk away from it. When you come back to it, you'll have fresh eyes again, and if there's anything that's left, this stuff takes time. Throwing in an idea into ChatGPT and then spitting out with some dolly images, it's not good design. It's just not. Even just mudding through on a weekend, here's something I kind of cracked out. If you cracked it out, it could be better with time. If you don't care about that extra research and development time, that's probably why your stuff isn't being highlighted in any newsletters by the DMsGuild or doesn't have a medal. The quality and reflection of work, it's self-evident. So that's Timely Timer. How we doing? 7:45. Okay, I've got a few more of these in me. I don't think we're gonna get all of these done tonight. I think we're gonna get down to. I'm gonna get down to. We're gonna stop. Yeah, we're gonna stop at 8 o'clock, and it's 7:45 now. So I'm on my last 20-minute kick for today. But we're gonna be back tomorrow at lunch and continue doing these things. And then on Thursday night, I'm going to be playing some more Shadow Dark with AJ Pickett, Wally DM, and Fred Wheeler with How to RPG, and whoever else wants to step up to the plate that joins the team. But I'll be doing some, we'll be doing some Shadow Dark this Thursday at 5 o'clock Seattle time, -8 UTC, 5 p.m. And then after that, like around 7:30 instead of 6 o'clock, around 7:30 Thursday night, we're going to be continuing with the Bastion campaign document. I suspect we'll have this aspect. I think we'll have facilities done Thursday night, if not certainly by Friday lunch. And as soon as we finish the Bastion facilities, we can then go into the Bastion orders and clarifying the rules for that. This is coming along. I'm really happy with it. I'm really, really happy with it. So hopefully you guys think this stuff is cool. Let's see. Gaming Hall, prerequisite, first rank. When issuing a basic maintain order to determine the lifestyle of a Bastion, you can roll an additional Bastion die, comma, come on. Gaming Hall, there we go. You can roll an additional Bastion die up to the value listed for the rank of this facility. Downtime dice. Downtime activity. There we go. This is the first downtime activity we have, isn't it? Yeah, okay, cool. So let's look at a downtime activity. Downtime dice. A character that spends a Bastion turn in this facility is inspired with good fortune, gaining downtime dice to spend during your next adventure. Downtime dice is a mechanic that we have listed down below. It's basically Bardic Inspiration dice. It's a floating pool of Bardic Inspiration dice that your character can use during any D20. It's basically the luck test. It's like the, it's kind of like the luck feat, but you're just basically gaining bonus Bardic Inspiration points. So like if your entire team of 4 characters spent the entire Bastion turn gambling in the gaming hall, using that time excuse me, as their downtime activity, all of them, like if you're third rank, all of them would get 3 Bastion dice, which would be D8s. They get 3 D8 dice. A character that spends a Bastion turn in this facility is inspired with good fortune, gaining downtime dice to spend during your next event. And we describe downtime dice further down below. Unique order. Trade. When you issue... you can issue... Thank you. You can issue a trade order unique to this facility. You gain 2 Bastion points permanently. You can... Okay, you can issue a trade order unique to this facility, and sacrificing 1 Bastion point when you do. If you succeed the Bastion test, you gain 2 Bastion points permanently. If you fail the roll, you cannot recover the sacrificed Bastion point, and you create a complication. The DC of the Bastion test is determined by the rank of the Bastion. So again, Bastion points are worth more at higher ranks, so it's more difficult to gain them, more risky. And since you're gaining Bastion points, you can't reduce the cost to have like a lower value Bastion point. That's what the auction house is for, is selling off Bastion points. Bastion rank, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you fail the roll, the DC of the Bastion test is determined by the rank of this facility. Oh wait, if you fail, nope. Of the Bastion where this facility is located, is installed, period. It is Bastion based, so that is correct language. That's unique though. It's normally the facility, but in this case it's the Bastion. That's actually very important. Okay, Garden. First rank. When issuing a basic harvest order to acquire plant materials, you can roll an additional Bastion die. Bastion die. Come on, buddy. Comma. Up to the value listed. An additional Bastion die of the size listed. Is that the actual language of the size? Let's go all the way up to archives. Arcane study. Comma. To any facility. Garden. You can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility, period. When issuing a basic harvest order to acquire plant materials. Okay, basic orders. Harvest. Provide plant material for crafting items. Crafting order. Let's go to the armory and pick up its language. Basic, crypt, demi-plane, garden. Harvest order. Oh, you can create. You can issue a basic craft order to create non-magical item up to the value listed for the rank of this facility. Period. You can issue a basic harvest order. To create to gather plant materials for crafting items, period. And government, I think that starts at second, right? No, first rank. When issuing a basic trade order to acquire materials or non-magical items, you can roll an additional Bastion die. There, unique facility benefits. You can govern bastions and settlements of a rank up to this facility. You can govern bastions and settlements of a rank equal to of a rank up to this facility as detailed in the governing bastion and settlement section below. Downtime activity. A character that spends a bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains advantage on all charisma checks with residents of a governed bastion or settlement. Of a bastion or settlement that you this bastion governs, period. Cool. Greenhouse. Prerequisites. Rank 3. Bastion. When issuing a basic harvest order to acquire plant materials, you can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. Craft. You can issue a basic craft order to create non-magical items of value listed for the rank of this facility. You can issue an empower order. You can issue a basic empower order to create magical item potions of a rarity listed for the rank of this facility. And that's all covered in the orders section down below. These things are really easy to build once you get your momentum going. 1, 2, buckle chew. 2, buckle chew. Buckle chew. Greenhouse. Guild hall. Second rank. Prerequisite. Second rank. Rank 2. Prerequisite. Rank 2. Bastion. Basic facility benefits. When issuing a basic craft order to create non-magical items, you can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. Basic orders. Recruit. You can issue a basic recruit order to attract an expert sidekick as a hireling that can also accompany your characters on adventures. The DC to recruit is based on the level of the sidekick, which cannot exceed the level of the characters as detailed in the issuing order section below. And for trade, you can issue a basic trade order to acquire materials or non-magical items of value or rarity listed for the rank of this facility. Period. Laboratory, 3rd rank. Laboratory, 2. Prerequisite. Rank 2. Bastion. When issuing a basic harvest order to acquire materials, you can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. You can issue a basic craft order to create non-magical items. You can issue a basic empower order to create magic items of rarity listed for the rank of this facility. Period. Of a value listed for the rank of this facility. Period. The system is so easy. It's so easy. I love it. Library is 1st rank. Prerequisite 1st rank. Rank 1 Bastion. Downtime activity. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains the benefit of a Legend Lore Charm. Charm in the DMG is defined as a spell that you can cast once without any components or ability to cast spells. Orders. Are these basic orders? Issue the Empower order to create a basic magic item. Issue order to study any specific topic. There's books for to determine if the area has relevant information. Roll d6. If the result is equal to or less than the rank of the facility, relevant information is present. Otherwise, a research complication occurs. Issue a basic empower order to create non-magical items of rarity listed for the of a rarity listed for this facility. for the rank of this facility, period. You can issue, we'll go with unique orders. Research. You can issue a research order unique, to this facility to study any specific topic that your library has a book for. Period. To determine if the library has relevant information, roll 1d6. If the result is equal to or less than the rank of this facility, relevant information is present. Otherwise, a research complication occurs. Meditation chamber is rank 1. We're almost out of time. Unique facility benefit. When issuing a basic empowerment order, you can roll 1 additional Bastion die. Thank you, timer. You can roll 2 craft, to empower, to create a magical item. You can roll 1 additional Bastion die. There you go. Downtime activity. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains the benefits of a divine charm. Any divine charm. Unique orders. Unique. You can issue a recruit order unique to this facility to attract an adept sidekick as a hireling that can also accompany your character on adventures as detailed in the issuing orders section below. This might end up being a common order. We'll see. We'll see if it needs to be common or not. And we're now past 8 o'clock. So what we got left? We got Menagerie, we got Observatory, Planar Gate, Pub, Reliquary, Sacristy, Sanctuary, Sanctum, Scriptorum, Settlement, Smithy, Spy Network, Stables, Storehouse, Teleportation Circle, Theater, Training Area, Trophy Room, War Room, Workshop. That's what, 15 more facilities? So let's go ahead and put the brakes on here. We'll probably end up finishing this on Thursday then. So we're going to knock down some more of this at lunch tomorrow, probably like around 2 o'clock Seattle time, which is -8 UTC in the afternoon. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and pick this up where we left off. So we just finished the meditation chamber. Continue here. So we'll continue this for about an hour again tomorrow at lunch, and then Thursday night we're going to be playing Shadow Dark again with AJ Pickett, Fred Wheeler with How to RPG, Wally DM, maybe some others at 5 o'clock Seattle time, -8 UTC, Thursday night. And then after that, it's typically a 2-hour session, so probably like around 7:30 or so, I'll be back on and we'll finish this Thursday night. and then Friday, if we don't finish it on Thursday, if we should have it finished by Thursday night, and that if we finish early, we'll start in on orders. Otherwise, we'll work on orders on Friday, and then we'll probably wrap around to Monday next week. We'll continue redefining and refining the orders that we can be issued, and then we'll get into the sabotage and warfare, franchising, settlement, franchises and settlements. And then we'll refine the events and complications. We'll look again at the item list that we have down at the end of the document. And then we'll need to build out example bastions and examples of play. That'll be fun. All right, that's it for now, guys. Thanks everyone that's been hanging out. I really appreciate everyone that's taking an interest in this stuff. Again, my Discord server is linked down below, as is this Google Docs playtest document. It is a read-only document, just to stay compliant with the terms of DMsGuild. I can't actually give you this content. You can't cut and paste it. You can't download it. It's not available for you to look at other than here online with me now. And once we finalize the script and send it off to an editor, we'll pull this from availability, and then you'll see me working on it in page layouts and then art production and Photoshop. And once it's finished, we'll publish on the DMsGuild like all the other books I have down below. You can check those out. They all have free previews. This will too. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited about this. All right, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for some more Eberron art. We're doing spot art in the Eberron Adventure that we'll be publishing on DMsGuild later on this year. And so I'll be tagging in probably like around 6:15 or so to do another hour plus of artwork in the morning. And that's it for now, guys. I will see you on the other side. Thanks a lot for being here.